I'm Akshar. My roll number is 17BCE0921 and I'm giving my presentation for the software engineering project, and I've chosen the umbrella topic as software cost estimation. So software cost estimation has many theories and many paradigms which can be used for estimating the cost, and there are many metrics too. Here we are going to consider some of them. I have dealt with functional point analysis, source lines of code, and also using those metrics to find out the effort, development time, and cost. So this is the first look of homepage of the website, and let me go to the full screen. Okay, so you can see we need to go stepwise over here. First, let's find the functional point analysis. Let's do that first. Okay, as we know, there are different types of weighting factors which we can give. Let us assume for now average weighting factor. So I'm gonna enter 2 over here. And then let's assume for the software project which we are doing, there are a lot of user inputs, for example 6, and generally the outputs are quite low for like software projects. So let's assume 2, and the number of inquiries maybe 1, and the number of files involved in the software project, I mean the internal files, logical internal files, they might be 5. And then what are the external files or interfaces which are involved with the project? There might be 2. So let me get the UFP, which is unadjusted function point. It is 1 or 2. And then next we need to go to our second step, where we need to answer around a lot of questions. I have used around 17 questions. So let's see the question. These are standard questions. We need to answer from 0 to 5, 0 being the lowest importance and 5 being the highest importance. So let's go ahead. I'm gonna give some random values for now. Okay, so we got the impact as 43. Now let's calculate the FP, function point. It is 110.16. We need to be noting this down somewhere so that we do not get lost in the next steps. I'll just remember it as 110.16. Okay, now let's go back as the first step is completed. Okay, now let's calculate the source lines of code. So here we'll first enter our source function point, which is 110.16, and you might be wondering why source lines of code is language dependent, because many languages have different writing styles and logical capabilities. For example, let's consider the language C. For example, if we write 10 lines of code, when it gets translated to, for example, COBOL, language COBOL, it might be a lot, because considering 8086 and my hardware programming languages, their lines of codes are much higher and very basic. Each line of code does a very basic task. So we need to normalize the number of lines according to the language. For that, I have used this metric. You can see this. I'll with the lines of code, I'll just multiply this factor. Okay, let's go back to our calculations. Let me assume I'm doing my coding in Java. Java is the most scary language for me, so I'm using Java over here. And let's find the source lines of code. There's a small error here, but if you go back, it should be visible. Yeah, so the source lines of code is 5838.48. So based on the function point and the language we are using, based on the analysis, it is reasonable to assume that our project will have around 6,000 lines of code. Now let's go to the next step, estimating the effort, cost, time. If you remember from here, we can directly go to the home page and go to the third step, or you can jump right over from here. Okay, we just got around 5,800 SLOC, right? 5,900, I think. So KLOC is nothing but 1,000 it converts into per thousand. So 5.9. And yeah, here we have to consider different cost drivers. We can categorize them into product drivers, hardware attributes, personal attributes, project attributes, and then we need to assign a value, a nominal value to each of the parameter. Here let us assume this is a top end, like high end software project which where the client is paying a lot of money and all the parameters are quite required. So let me just fill according to that. See, we got the value over here, 1.7741. Okay, so now let's set the class type. There are different types of project progress kind of thing. For example, the way which we do our project, is it organic, is it semi detached, is it embedded? I'm assuming it's organic over here. And labor rate, what amount will you pay for each person per hour? So generally I'll maybe let me pay $25. Okay, now let's calculate the effort, time, cost. So effort is 17.03 pm, which is person months, and time of development is 42.5 months, and cost is $425. Yeah, $425 per month. So the thing over here is, the high amount of labor charges we give, the more number of costs it will have take place, and the more number of developers we can hire, and the more less number of developments we'll need. So, and as you have seen before, I have given values according to my wish, but these are very sensitive information and needs to be brainstormed with the project team, project managers, and then we have to assign these values, not just based on our own individual intuition. This sums up my project. It's basically a website where you can like give the values and find the inferences. Project managers, developers, and clients can use this tool for to get an idea of the development time, like time taken, which will take place to develop the product, and also to get a rough estimate of the uh, software project. As you can see, all these attributes and all are standard in nature and needs to be inserted with a lot of care. And yeah, I plan, what are the future scope of this project? I plan to make this as an web application and host it on a free server like Amazon or Google Cloud, Amazon AWS. That's the future scope of this project. And the umbrella topic which I choose is software cost estimation. I hope you like this project, and thank you.